What's up, guys? My name is Toba. I'm an admin of the Comics Meltdown, and this is just a Comic Meltdown chat for you guys to watch us talking about stuff. And make sure you comment, make sure you like the video, and hopefully we'll make more as time goes along, depending on the feedback that we get. Luckily, I have some great comic minds with me today. Great comic minds. Dapo Senior is in the house. Dapo, what's going on?
I'm good. The audience is announced. I can't wait to get to
We also have great. Dapo is the almighty biggest Thor fan on the Meltdown. I challenge anybody who is a bigger Thor fan than Dapo. We also have the Niger nerd, the almighty Nuru Jay in the house with us. What's going on, Nuru?
I'm good, man.
Great to have you, bro. Hopefully we're going to be able to do a lot more of this. And also, funny enough, we have two biggest. Okay, so we have Dapo is the biggest Thor fan, and we also have the biggest Batman fan in the house. This guy is not going to listen to any argument about Batman. Batman can even beat. Let me see, who is the most ridiculous person that Batman can beat? Batman can beat the president if possible in this guy's books. Okay, so I think Moore's video has frozen, right? Because he's not moving at all. Why does Batman suck? Unfortunately, Moore ran away just before we started this session.
Howard!
Hoping that he will join us before we end the session. Okay, so guys, let me start with Dapo. Dapo, why does Batman suck?
Right, I've got a whole book full of notes about why.
Oh God!
Right, so I am going to be a bit tongue in cheek.
Oh, there he is.
I'm going to be a bit.
Show him your book. Show him your book.
Say
what?
This is my book, all the notes about why Batman sucks. So I'm about to start going through it now.
Jesus. Are you getting serious about that?
Yes.
No.
Let him finish, and then you can
Let me
rebut.
try and change your mind. first.
The topic is why he sucks.
You don't have
yes,
So
yes,
let
How
them
you changing anybody's mind?
I didn't my mind.
And we've not yet gotten to you, More, so you have to let Dapo talk first, please. Okay, so More, what I'm going to do is, More, you have a right of interruption for each person. One right of interruption.
One,
for each
just
person.
one.
You
That was one.
Yes,
Start.
just one. You will have a right to interrupt. Just once. So am I to assume that you've interrupted Dapo just yet?
No.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Dapo, please go ahead.
Right. So why does Batman suck? And I'll tell you why he sucks. Now, Batman, and let me be very clear, as a character design and how he's built, he's a great character and can be very good. Unfortunately, there's a big problem. He is now seen by DC as the be-all and end-all. He sucks for one main reason for me, more than any other reason, is they at the cost of other characters, they push him. He's constantly pushed by DC, and in fact, disgracing other characters around him. Characters that are even a lot better than he is, that could shine. And it's also part of why, and I'm going to get very deep in this, it's also partly why the whole DCU stuff is failing. DC can't see beyond two characters, Superman, Batman, and it comes at a great cost to all the other cast they have. Right now, we're seeing now in the pages of this comic where Batman goes against different characters. He has no right to even have a chance against, because it's Batman and because it's DC Detective Comics, the house that Batman built. They always try to find ways to push him, and to me, it just becomes ridiculous. I am a Batman fan, but I am embarrassed by a lot of Batman comics. You know, to me, one of the great signs of a human being is you can fail. It's what you did in failure. You come back, you start up and you come back up. Batman should not be beating Darkseid. I'm sorry, there's no story you're writing on this planet that makes sense. That Batman, it should not be. It's nonsensical. No matter, I'm a Thor fan. Thor gets his ass kicked. It's part of parcel of.
He got his ass beat by immortal orcs.
But as in, he removed his tooth out. His tooth came out and then plow.
It's part of parcel to me of your character. Now, don't get me wrong. Another issue I have with Batman is one of my favorite parts of Batman. I used to love is his detective work, not this stupid prep for fights. Detective. When last has he really does it anymore?
Yeah.
Every now and then, somebody will remember that he's a detective, and then they'll do kind of. No, they've lost all of that. Now we've got a comic. And another thing is, if you look at the Bat family, that's very clear. Even in the Bat family, Batman's not even the best. He's not even the top character there. Alfred is more intelligent than he is. What?
Wait, what?
I mean,
Please my chest.
This guy is a better detective than he is. What's the name of that Robin again?
Tim Drake.
It's not Dick. It's not Jake.
Tim Drake.
Yeah, Tim Drake is a better detective than he is. True.
Big
Thanks,
question.
Drew.
I would like to retort at this point. Can I retort at this point?
Is this your retort?
Yes.
This is your one interjection.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
First of all, Batman cannot apologize for being great. He's the most popular, he's the best seller, he will not apologize for carrying this. He should not have to do so. I should not be blamed unfairly for why Cyborg didn't have a name. Who knows? I didn't know Cyborg's real name. You cannot.
Why are you trying to say that?
His real name is Clark Kent. His real name is Clark Kent.
A human being beating a god is a common theme among comics. Please don't blame Batman alone.
Even in mythology.
Even in mythology, human being, I mean, David killed Goliath. From that time downwards, not by biblical time if you are a Christian, downwards, that underdog is a god due to ingenuity, the common story. And it's nothing that Batman can be blamed for. Captain America has done it. I've seen Iron Man do it because he's wearing an armor. They just add a name to the armor. God Killer armor. Oh, you're gonna fight Thor. Oh, God Ghostbuster. Oh, you're gonna fight it. I mean, you're now blaming Batman. How dare you? But
I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry. You need a correction there. So sorry to interject. I'm sorry. Even with the Thor Buster armor, Iron Man gets his ass kicked. Like
because he's not smart. That's the point. He cannot.
Even Batman gets his butt kicked. I want to interject something there.
You have years of prep time and Bob is busting the whole thing and Madel show will do better or something. After you have so much prep time and all you can come up with is a boss that doesn't work. That is Iron Man's own problem. If you have prep time, if you are prepared, you should be able to handle a threat like Hulk or Thor.
And why is it only Batman that needs prep time?
Everybody needs prep.
But when it comes to when it comes to battles with Batman,
prep time for anybody for that side. He's powerful enough.
When it comes to battles, they always say, "Oh, if we give him prep time, why? So the other guy, when he's prepping, what's the other guy doing? Eating food, eating eba.
No.
Why they not both prepping?
For instance, now, if I want to shoot Superman in the chest, does he need any prep time? No, he would have because he had never faced any fear before.
If you tell me, listen, if I'm Superman, if I'm Superman, and you say I'm going to fight Batman, yeah, I'm very smart. You tell me I'm going to fight Batman, and I'm giving Batman prep time. Oh, you give me what, a week prep time? Fine. So I get prep time. Trust me, Batman's not winning. I will fry his ass from orbit.
Who remembers?
I will fry his ass from orbit. I will rip his head off.
Superman and Batman fought in an Elseworld, right? Superman mentioned the exact thing you mentioned. He said, why would anybody believe that Batman would beat Superman? Batman came there with a like spear. Superman fried his hand off. I was like, how would you even believe that this guy can do it? And Batman said that was not even the plan. That was the diversion. And he took a doomsday pill and beat the shit out of Superman. That's the way I was putting Batman. So you might feel that overconfidence is your the same thing that you just say, oh, I will kill his boy, bring his spear to
sorry, he took this pill in front of Superman.
Yes.
So Superman watched him
watched it.
See why I say his power is the right.
More you used up your right of
and you just made my point. They make the other character look stupid to make Batman win. Don't get me wrong, not all writers do that, but a lot of them do that. A lot of writers do that. there's no way you can write Batman to beat Superman in a very clever way without making Superman look bad. But a lot of them, because it's hard, a lot of them don't even do that. They just make the other person look so stupid. Like that other person.
Can I ask you one question?
Yep.
Dude, no. You've used your right of rebuttal.
Yep.
You have to wait for it.
So
note that down.
My main beef with Batman, I don't get me wrong, I do like Batman. So as much as I troll more, I like the character. But my main beef is, I think the whole roster of DC characters, and if Batman and Superman, those two are put above everybody else, and it's at the cost of everybody else.
Everybody else.
And that translates across to the movies as well for me.
You know, just to quickly say something. Watchmen did handle how if a Batman-like character did want to beat someone like Superman, what the cost, realistically, what he would be prepared to sacrifice. You know, but Watchmen handled it in a way. That's them, Dr. Manhattan versus what's the name of that guy again?
Ozymandias.
Yes, Ozymandias. Yeah, that was kind of like a Batman Superman kind of scenario wherein Batman was completely ready. He understood the cost of beating someone that powerful. Sorry, Nuru. Nuru, I cut into your time. So sorry. So, what do you think, Nuru? Why does Batman suck?
I'm gonna start by saying why Batman's great. The reason he's great is mainly because he is the epitome of focus. Like, this guy is driven to achieve what he wants to achieve. He is driven to the point of building and training his body, training his mind, learning skills. If he learns of a skill that's in existence, whether it is memory or it is fighting or it is scientific knowledge, he will push himself and learn and master it. Yes, there are people who excel in each individual elements of his skill set better than he does. You know, Cassandra Cain is a better fighter. Tim Drake is a better detective. Nightwing is better with people, and you know, running and keeping people together as a cohesive unit, and so on and so forth. But that's where that saying, you know, the jack of all trades. He's a jack of all trades, a master of none, but oftentimes he's better than the master of one, which is the full saying. Most people don't know that, but he is better than those who just master one thing because he knows all. Now, that's one of the reasons why he's great. Also, the underdog scenario, because initially he was a guy who went after street level crime, and then they started incorporating him into stories as the master tactician, the guy who goes against Darkseid, for example. And I really got to say this, the one where he went up against Darkseid on Apocalypse, I really believe that was possible because Darkseid knows Batman, knows his knowledge of this guy is that unlike Superman with his higher level of ethics, Batman is willing to do things Darkseid is not willing to tolerate. And he knew that Batman was bluffing. So it wasn't a straight fight, it was more of a battle of excuse me.
It was a battle of wits, yeah.
It's the battle of wits, and Batman will win that battle hands down against most people. Having said that, the real issue, I was kind of disappointed in some of that was, I thought that will come with better fights than that. Oh, okay, the universe, guy, come on. I mean, you can't, like Moore said, you can't blame, the guy's successful, but works. So if I know somebody's good at something, I'll keep calling that person to do the same thing over and over again. So you can't blame him for that. But I will say this, my main beef with Batman, and this is the number one reason I think he sucks, is there hasn't been any evolution in his interaction with bad guys to the point where they now know, because there's this thing where they say Batman doesn't kill. That's BS to me, because I get the whole idea that this is the ethical stance he holds himself to, but you can't be in a city where 400 people die because of one bad guy. Then another 200 people die. So there's going to be a point that comes where you say, okay, fine, I will kill this guy and I will turn. That's why I liked what they did in the Batman movies, The Dark Knight, where he says, let me be the one who's blamed for somebody's death. I like that, but actually wish he did the killing. But anyway, the point is, there's a point that comes where you have to wake up to the reality that you letting somebody live, if you don't kill them, don't save them. Letting somebody live and survive is beyond ridiculous. You know, it's like there's no way.
Can I have a retort?
Yeah, let me make a second point. I think you want to retort to both of them when I'm done. Okay. That's number one. Number two, even when he does make plans to have some of these guys captured, like, okay, I'm not going to kill them, I'm going to capture them, I'm going to lock them up. Yeah. The idea that he would not have sets in motion plans to make sure they can never escape. I'm not talking about Batman here, right? You're supposed to be this super tactician. You couldn't figure out ways to keep these guys locked up that even they couldn't come out of your prison. You know, you couldn't figure out ways to make that happen. Like, I don't believe that for a second. That's one of the things why the Bat writers keep making ways for a team to have these same guys escape. So the flaw is the same plot that makes him super strong. They're now making it super powerful in that context. It's the same flaw that they're using to keep creating ways for him to have to fight the same guys over and over again. You would have thought by now that they would have a situation progress where these guys escaped, he had enough, he had one of them killed, or he made sure one guy killed, or he let the guy die, and all the other guys knew. Because sometimes some of the guys go, so we know you're Batman, you won't kill me. There should be a point where they say, wait, hold up, there's that one time though where you did kill this guy. So yeah, I'm gonna agree to tell the story now. So for me, those are the two flaws that I don't like about that.
Okay. I would like to report. The first one that you mentioned, it's in no way, not even close. Not even first context of buttoning me up with those positive things of Batman really helped my blood.
But I really believe it. So.
Yeah. Having said that, the first point you made is in no way, not even the slightest, not even in the 100 slightest, unique to Batman. Not even close.
No one said it is.
95% of heroes claim not to kill, even Superman. And Superman has gone against people who have destroyed worlds, who destroy cities, who kill at an astonishing rate. I mean, heroes who kill and put in a particular category and are called villains, or even some Punishers are called a villain or anti-villain because he kills. Majority of the heroes, 95, even Thor has killed not to kill.
No, sorry, no,
you're wrong.
No,
Sorry about
Thor is a warrior, man. He kills you.
Marvel. Let me be very clear. Marvel does not
I
have
have a
no kill policy in that.
Thor was taking down
Man, Jesus. Thor is even the wrongest person to mention.
Okay, not forget Thor.
Thor is the wrongest guy.
Every other
Oh, fry you, man.
Marvel or DC,
Thor has been murking guys 1,500 years.
Marvel heroes kill a lot more than DC. Forget Marvel. Talk about DC.
Wait. Let's get perspective.
No, but Thor is the wrongest guy.
Warrior.
Wrong stuff you kill, you want to talk of.
The no killing issue and the villain issue is not unique to Batman in any way.
You are thinking of Loki more. You are thinking of Loki because he doesn't kill Loki. Loki is his brother now.
Hold up.
Loki has killed. Loki bought about Ragnarok.
Wait now.
Died.
Wait now. More. So you're not saying I'm wrong. You're just saying that it's not unique to him.
That's the biggest thing.
Hold up. You guys are still in my time. Moore is not saying I'm wrong. He's just saying it's not unique to him. So it is a flaw. It's just not. Yeah, that's fine. They can. I never said it's unique to him. They can all share that flaw.
Yeah.
But it's a flaw.
People are willing to be. People can be redeemed. No matter what, you as a hero cannot be judge, jury, and executioner. Your job is to get them off the streets. If you get them off the streets, imprison them in some dark cell, then you are everything in the chain of the law. And you cannot do that because absolute power corrupts absolutely. Even the Joker.
But you just said he has absolute power now, so he's definitely should be free to corrupt it.
And more, I think you're missing the point of not killing. We're not saying he should kill every criminal he says. But
I'm saying that at some point there has to have been a point where he said, okay, this guy, you've gone too far. This guy. Not everybody. This guy. And then the rest know, oh, okay.
What if they can be redeemed? What if they are crazy? If a madman kills 500 people, would he deserve to die if he's mad?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You guys say yep?
I don't buy that whole plea of insanity.
Of his actions.
Yeah, and we are in control of eliminating him because we don't have time to cure him. We don't have time to cure a guy who killed 500 people. Check him out. I am not one of those people. I don't give a damn about. Hey, we're giving opinions here. I am not in support of the law.
You have to wait. You can continue your own time. Sorry.
I'm not in support of the law that says, hey, insanity is the reason why you don't kill a guy who's killed 500 people. Are you kidding me? Let's kill him and then go and figure out how to fix the law. You know, how to fix such people. This one guy right now, take him out. After we've killed him, all right, now go and find out how you can treat people who are mad.
You sound like Punisher.
Oh my guy, me and Punisher have a lot of thoughts in common. I'm not gonna lie. I believe in finality when it comes to solving problems. So I don't know.
I believe in redemption.
I'm happy for you.
Okay, so Nuru, are you done? Let me just quickly take my own question.
I was gonna just round that since he interrupted, but I was gonna round it up with two things. One, he didn't actually He didn't actually say my first point was a flaw, but was not a flaw. It is a flaw. It's just that everybody else has it. Oh, great, they all have it. That's why I think Punisher makes good points in his debate with Daredevil in the series, where he says, "You guys are just, you're a half measure. You guys are half measures. You guys don't go all the way." There's certain people who push the envelope to the point where they need to be stopped. Finally, that's war. You've declared war against humankind if you kill 800 people because you thought you wanted to make Batman come out and do something. Now, Joker, you can't put a toxin, kill 800 people, women, children, and men, and then expect to live after that. Say, okay, well, we'll lock him up. No. We dip you in your toxin and leave you there till you die. So anyway, so that's my thoughts on that. So,
okay.
But Batman as a whole, I really do think is a character that not only is he very good as a character, the creation and the way they've taken him recently, I think the fact that they're not willing to acknowledge some of those things and let him evolve into something new, nobody's brave enough to do it, is an issue, and it holds him back a little bit. I think not necessarily if they could have certain things happen that people thought were traumatic, like Jason Todd dying, well, sure, Batman could have somebody who actually got killed, who he actually killed. Even if they bring the person back later on, let it be on him that, well, this one time he did this, and people now know, okay, there are times when you push him beyond the mark, and that was a missed opportunity in my opinion. He could kill Joker for killing Jason Todd, but he didn't. Which is why I love that Jason Todd shows up and it's like that scene where he's like, dude, how? If there's one person that you should have killed for this, it's this guy. You didn't kill him.
Where does it end? How about
more? You can't interject.
No, I meant it.
Sorry, Toba, can I just make one point? And I wrote it down. I forgot to mention it.
Okay.
My second biggest issue with him, and just one liner, he's a child abuser, and there is I mean, don't get me wrong, we all read comics, and don't get me wrong, I like the Robins.
Yeah.
But when you actually analyze what's happening, what he's doing, it's wrong on so many levels. It's unreal. It's just unreal.
I want to retort to that. I have to retort to that. Now, in the comic book world of teen heroes, child hero groups, and children who are put in the line of fire all the time, everywhere, he saved orphans, give them the right, give them money, give them discipline, give them a future, and give them direction. No one should ever apologize for that. No one. I mean, Damian was to become a killer. He made Damian a hero.
So what he did is exactly the same thing the generals in Liberia and Sierra Leone did. Gave them direction. Yes. Gave them.
No. It's different. They are killing people wrongfully and unjustly, and that's in this world. In this world, the child soldier does not exist. In the world of comic books, there are child heroes, there are child villains, there are child soldiers everywhere. Right? Yeah. So, or Jason thought, I would like Jason was going to become a criminal, probably off the streets. He gave him purpose.
He was a criminal.
Dick was, yes.
But isn't he a criminal? Jason Todd is a criminal.
He was a
now. Batman is a hero of Batman. Everybody recognizes that. But even then, he's still a hero by some degree, right? Dick Grayson was an orphan. He gave him a purpose, he gave him education, he gave him money, he gave him power, he gave him discipline. He made him a leader. Why should he apologize for that?
Batman is risking the life.
That is blocking after Jay.
More.
Having sexual thoughts.
More. Sorry.
Batman is taking children to face people with guns. He's putting their lives at risk every day. Children.
They did that. What did they die?
So because they didn't die, it's okay.
They would have.
That's like saying Michael Jackson holding his child off the window ledge. Oh, did he fall? That doesn't make it right.
No. In the comic world, if I train you to defeat something, absolutely, then and I put that in your way, and you definitely do defeat it, then I mean, what's the problem?
Batman has trained himself. Batman has trained himself.
Someone got shot yesterday in a room from a stray bullet. I train you to stop people from getting shot, and you do it effectively and genuinely, and I've never gotten shot. What is wrong with that? We can see the future. We've known how it ends up for the grace. Doesn't that?
I disagree with you. But more. Let me just quickly make I don't have a lot of points. Just to buttress Dapo's point, even Iron Man, Tony Stark is a horrible human being.
And
he knows he's a bad guy. But even Tony Stark told Peter Parker, guy, you are too young to be on the streets. That's Tony Stark, who has no moral compass. Zero moral compass. And then you come here and tell me that Batman is a good guy. My biggest grouse with Batman is that at Batman's core, he's not a good guy. He's actually a bad guy.
No.
That is my biggest issue with Batman. My biggest issue is that the greatest good that Batman could do would be out of that bat suit. Batman is one of...
Wayne Enterprises is the $3 company.
Wait now, chill now, let me finish. Wait, chill. Batman's biggest strength, his only superpower is that he's rich. A person that is rich, even in the real world, Bill Gates, what is Bill Gates doing with his wealth? He's helping people all over the world. He's creating foundations. Gotham, unarguably, is one of the poorest places in the DC universe. Unarguably, you don't need to argue about it.
That's confirmation bias. If you look at every other...
How is that what do you mean by confirm? Okay, so you're using your right to interject right now.
Yeah, I'll use my right to interject.
Okay, go ahead.
One, that's a bias. Every city in comic book history has issues. Star City, Metropolis was destroyed by Doomsday. Star City was destroyed one time. If you look at every city,
we are talking about poverty, bro. Poverty.
Gotham has comparable infrastructure with every other city.
Nah, man. That is so wrong. That is completely wrong.
They have an underground.
In the DC universe, Gotham is the most crime-ridden city and the most underdeveloped.
We need references for this.
Do you read the comics? It's clear.
I don't read comics.
Bro, you're a Batman fan. Why do we need
Metropolis is a shining example of what the city should be in DC universe.
What happened to Metropolis? How many people died?
And yet, never has the government.
Over 10,000 people died.
Okay, more. What one city in the whole of this universe?
Low-level crime.
What one city in the whole of this universe has been declared by the government as a no man's land that nobody should go there because it's what city? Let me think. Gotham.
Wait, I want directly to Nuru. Listen to this. A comic will not focus on the day-to-day activities of every day. You focus only on when bad things happen. That's the bias of comics. You don't focus on
not all comics. Not all comics. Not all comics.
Because you would read a day-to-day activity. Oh, this month there was no crime in Gotham. You would read it. The comics only focus on when something bad happens. That's the bias. Don't tell you every day something bad happens.
Not all comics.
He directly agreed on Toba.
Okay, sorry. But it was my point. I was making the point, but Drew, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I kind of agree. Comic books are basically geared towards telling us about an event, which means, but I don't agree that they do not focus on day-to-day, because sometimes the day-to-day is all about setting the ground for the event. So they will start off by showing you, say, okay, this is a day in the life, this is what's going on, and then this happened, and just trying to introduce the characters and how they live and what they're doing, and then they might build that up to a question at the end of that story. Or it might be a story that's like a mid interjection between events to show you how they're recovering from the last event and how life is returning to normal. So those kinds of stories are also interesting character studies, and I think they're really good when they do that. Having said that, hold up. Having said that, one second more. Having said that, let's be honest, none of us is going to buy Batman comics if they focus on Wayne Enterprises being like Bill Gates, trying to save the world and solve malaria and all that stuff. That's not why we buy the comics. We buy the comics because the guy puts on the bat suit and goes out to kick ass. So let's not lie about that. That's why we do it.
I want to ask one more question. How many cities have you heard about being destroyed in the last 1 year? I heard recently that Namor destroyed Wakanda, didn't he? Namor destroyed Wakanda. Yeah. There was a time when Star City was destroyed and Green Lantern went crazy. How many cities have you heard? So when you destroy a country, how many people do you think would have died in that destruction? Estimate. Is it 400 killed?
What was the point? So what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point of the question?
What's the point you're making? I don't get the point.
What's the point?
Every city has destruction, and if you cannot isolate Gotham in it. When I that have even much more.
Right. So in DC,
completely destroyed.
This is not even more.
The last time, probably during the Dark Metal saga. I think that's why the last time they had the cataclysmic event.
Yes, which was like more in comics. This is not in DC. It's established. We've seen comics where they talk about the worst cities in there.
Show me a reference.
And it's awful. I'll find it for you.
That's a personal bias and then
No. There was even a comic where they show people that I moved from.
You know what I'm going to do in the edit?
You know what's funny? In some of the older comic books, the Bloodhaven is actually described as worse than, I think in the Cassandra Cain comics, Bloodhaven is described as worse than Gotham, which I find very interesting because I spent the last few weeks starting Cassandra Cain from beginning and I was reading all the way through. And she gets to the point where Batman's like, you know what, you need some time on your own. And he basically asks her to go, since Nightwing's gone from Bloodhaven, she goes to Bloodhaven to go basically stay there and live and so on. And even in fact, if you go to DC Universe right now, there's a comic book that they're featuring that kind of gives you some backstory to Nightwing, and it describes Bloodhaven as being I can't remember the exact description, but something like, if Gotham is Saw, then what's it called? Bloodhaven is probably a bunch of Saws, like even worse, even more disgusting kind of Saw. So
okay, so let me just quickly finish my point. So like I said, I think Batman is not really a good hero. I don't believe that he's a good hero, which leads into my second point. And the reason why I'm making this point ties to just one storyline which had to do with the Agamemnon protocols. Batman, his plan, making a plan, always puts his fellow heroes in trouble. When you compile a file containing the weaknesses of every single hero in the world, and you are careless enough to get that file stolen by a villain, that's
what
pure.
Villain was that? In that case, what villain was that?
It was Rage Al
and then this guy raised
400-year-old Superman. Who has 400 years of experience. 400 years.
Yeah, that justifies Batman getting a file he compiled personally on all his fellow heroes stolen.
Okay.
My last point.
I would disagree with your statement there, but that's fine.
Okay.
In all honesty, think that the whole categorization of Batman as a bad hero may be true, but then again, Batman, that's the funny thing, Batman never positioned himself to be a hero. Batman was about being a cure. Batman was about being a solution to a problem. And sometimes solving a problem, requires, like I remember there was a scene where the Justice League summoned Batman, I think after the whole incident where his files and then were captured and they found that he had compiled files and all of them. And they were like, we must deal with the elephant in the room here. You kept files on all of us. He goes, yeah. And he said, I'm not going to apologize for that. That's necessary. Yeah. If you can't see the danger in the risk to the world in an out of control Justice League, then there's no reason for him to be there. And he got up and Justice League. If you guys can't see it, in all honesty, Batman is like a general. There's no general that thinks of, if you're a real master tactician, you automatically think of your casualty level. Who am I going to lose? Who am I going to put at risk? Who's gonna be in trouble? That's bound to happen. That's just, you can't think in terms of everybody coming out on the other side of your plan, okay? And Batman is willing to do that. He's willing to say, hey, this guy is going to get hurt, but he will get what we need done.
So, why I say that it's very difficult decisions that do what that hero will make.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, more. Just let me quickly make my last point. Then the floor is yours for the next 10 minutes. Basically, my last point is the plot device of prep time, of always having a plan. It's a plot device, but I think it's a shitty plot device. I think it's a bad plot device. Having a plan, having prep time is not. It's not a valid plot device. It's not a good plot device for all situations. And that being the default go-to for Batman, being able to take out these massive threats who are clearly above his pay grade. I think it's shitty story writing.
That's just lazy writing.
Can I?
That's all for me. So more, the floor is yours.
I feel that to me, it's a tired excuse for blaming Batman.
More thinks he looks good, so he's taking it.
If you look at every level of storytelling in comics, there's in the top 3 of every writer, you see a Batman story there. You want street level talk stuff, Batman is there. You want a detective story, Batman is there. You want the story with human character, Batman is there. You want a story of a man rising above everything and dealing with somebody superhuman, he's there. You want a prep time story, he's there. He's available for their stories that cover each and every part of it. The prep time is just an aspect of the mythos of Batman. In Batman Year 1, he didn't have prep time. He showed his struggle, he showed his pain. The first night he was out there, he was almost killed. This is not someone that relies on prep time everything. And in life, in every exam, you say they are trying to plan, they are trying to fail. In what things do you not need a plan? Why can't a plan work? If I say, okay, I want to take out this guy, I have the resources, the money, and ingenuity to do so, why is it wrong? Why is it unrealistic? When people do it every single day people do it. Iron Man does it all the time. The Punisher does it. The Punisher and doesn't even have money.
The key difference is, with all the others, there's a potential that they, even though you plan, I can train for all my life. Doesn't mean when I go in the ring against Muhammad Ali that I'm not going to lose. The problem with Batman
several times. Batman has lost several times, and sometimes he makes
and that's the problem. He loses several times to like street football.
Yeah, to street hoodlums, yeah.
But then he goes on.
In that Maxwell Lord storyline, someone brushed Batman easily.
It kind of makes sense that he would lose to street level thugs, because let's be honest, if you're planning to succeed, you're going to study the guys who, the big guys. Most people don't. I mean, I don't see Batman studying every street level thug.
Exactly.
No, but
Just saying.
If you can't be a human being, a normal human being.
No, but he has lost to big. Batman has lost to everybody at some point. The real issue.
He has lost Wonder Woman 2 despite preparation. But he wins 2. Look, my biggest flaw against your argument is that all of what you said, all of what you guys said, are not unique to Batman. Everything you said, the prep time,
so they're right. It's just not unique to Batman.
He's not even close to
being rich and doing squat.
What?
Who else is rich on his level and does squat?
Jay, you know what? You hit on the point there, because let's be frank, Black Panther does similar, and I love him for it.
No, I disagree. I think that's a topic for some other day. I completely disagree with that statement. Black Panther is a lot more proactive than Batman is. A lot more proactive.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean proactive?
No.
So what do you mean proactive? Do you mean proactive in helping people?
He lost Wakanda
in helping his people.
Oh, okay. So
how? By putting them in a fascist.
No, what I meant was about prep.
Prep.
Oh, okay.
But not allowing the soldiers to take the herb as precisely so that his people can be as strong as.
Not everybody can take the herb, chairman.
The herb will kill them. You in the comics. The herb.
They need to.
The herb will kill them if they take it.
The only reason why this guy could take it,
yes,
is they are assuming that because this guy Killmonger could take it, he had royal blood now.
No, even in the comics, you cannot take the herb unless the Black Panther agrees. You will die.
Yes.
It's straightforward. Even Doom had to go and beg.
Is he a mutant or just?
No, he's not. And the way, apparently, I think the way the Panther God agrees is when you win that fight. If you win the challenge, Panther God agrees, then it works.
Whatever.
If you
Let's
do it,
imagine that science can synthesize. That if it truly checks what's in the whatever, it can be synthesized.
It is magical, bro. It's magical.
It's not science.
The difference? What is the difference between Black Panther and Namor and Shazam? I'm sorry, and Black Adam. For me, I see no difference because it's a theocratic.
Dude, there's a big difference, though.
They are all dictators. They are all powerful dictators who isolate their country from everybody and claiming to protect them. Nuru, tell me the difference. Where have I lied? Are they not theocratic dictators who isolate their country from everybody else?
Okay, sorry. Let's first make a very clear distinction here. Are we debating politics, like the difference between a beneficial dictator and democracy, or are we debating?
It's not even benevolent. Who said it's benevolent?
It's the most advanced country
in the Marvel U.
All right, let's take that BS boys talking about. Let's take that BS boys talking about. Besides that, you guys diverted that whole talk. All the people that talk that BS about Black Panther being a fascist and all that kind of stuff, that's crap. Let me tell you why. In a monarchy, the king is the king. Everybody else shuts the hell up. That's the way it's been from the beginning of time. Okay.
Monarchies are fallen.
Hold up. Wait. democracy is all well and good, but it comes with its own problems. Like everybody's opinion having to stand, and that inherently has its issues. It means time is wasted, decisions can be taken quickly, and so on. Now, I'm down with democracy. But I think at the end of the day, that's the best way, because you can't trust a monarchy. You can't always trust that you get the right person in a monarchy. Because sometimes you get an absolute scumbag like the King Henry VIII and the rest. Other times you get somebody who, I mean, even if you look at the Bible, read the guys who became kings. There's more guys who were real assholes than guys who were worth carrying the throne. That's just the human condition. Having said that, the idea that Wakanda is the fastest society is not true. It is a society where the people have subjected themselves. This is the way things have been done, and it's also a society where, because of the fact that the society itself is used to living this way, and they haven't had problems to the point they feel they should end things go on that way. So that's cool. I would say though that I would say that with regards to the difference between Wakanda, is they should probably explore stories where people want to see different changes. That would be a great storyline. Or I would think even Moore's idea for somebody thinking, you know what if I pretended to be one of the priests, I stole the herb and figured out a way to synthesize some of its elements into something else and create a whole new character that a Black Panther has to face or deal with, or accept as part of his team, even as a leader of his soldiers, or a way of enhancing Wakanda. Because I would be down with Wakandan soldiers being enhanced marginally because somebody finally figured out a way to synthesize that power and made it available to everybody else. So all of a sudden Wakanda has the best soldiers workforce in the world. They'd be like, Wakanda will be like Asgardians. They just, all of them are super strong. Not as strong as him, but stronger. So I think you've made some good points in terms of how they can improve Black Panther, but I don't think it's necessarily enough on the Black Panther story. They're just not focusing on it enough, which is something that may happen going forward. They did introduce democracy recently, and it's one of the most hated stories so far. They actually did. That's why everyone was shouting about Coates' storyline, because that's basically what he did. He introduced some new concepts.
Let's focus on the man of the hour. The greatest superhero ever did, Batman. Let's not focus on imitation motifs or
the greatest superhero. Sorry, can you repeat that statement again? The greatest superhero ever lived.
Look, the world has been
Jesus Christ.
With that every poll.
What criteria? What criteria is that based on?
In which Thor or Black Panther was in the top 10 of most popular or most loved superheroes.
I didn't say Thor was. You're the one saying Batman is. What? I didn't say Thor was number one. You're the one saying Batman is.
There's no such poll. That 100%. There's no such poll in this world that Thor is number one superhero.
Who said that?
If you can show me a poll from
Mama, why are you arguing with yourself? Who said that? Whoever said that?
No, I'm not.
I am debating your number. Why you gave Batman number one? Where's Superman? In this phone? Is Superman number one?
Two. Sometimes Superman is number two. Sometimes number three.
Sometimes. But most of the time, Superman is number one, not Batman. Let's be very clear.
Let us aggregate the polls and let us see who comes up as number one most times, and it's going to be Batman.
It's Superman.
Maybe Spiderman number two. But if you aggregate it, definitely not Black Panther. Let's focus on why. I want to focus by telling you why Batman is awesome. Let us not even lie to ourselves. Cartoon, movies, comics, storylines, everything. Your go-to mention for the perfect stories, the perfect hero, the perfect whatever, the example which other heroes follow, the guy who opens the doors for everybody and all the human heroes try to rise above just giving them the superpower, super endurance, super optimism, and just being human. Is Batman. He's the hero.
Actually, Spiderman also fits into every single thing you just said too. Just pointing that out.
Allow me to Jesus. I was having a moment and you ruined it. How? Why? Thank you all guys for watching, and I hope you love Batman. And if you love Batman, subscribe here, like, and love this video as a Batman fan. Your duty to love this video and tell them why in the comment section. I want you to tell them why Batman is the greatest hero. Tell them in the comments. If you agree with them, tell me why you hate Batman, which is unexcusable, which is just silly. But tell me why you love Batman. Like, subscribe, and follow the comment. Thank you.
Don't forget to like and comment on this video and let us know what you think.
Subscribe.
Why did you say subscribe? Or you guys take care.
Peace out.